Hello, I'm Jody Williams and welcome back to the Silver Screen Show. So today's episode is a different one. I don't really have a specific topic or motive for making it. Instead, I just want to talk about some of my favourite films that I feel like you might like to watch for yourself. I think it's important for people to have an outlet to be able to speak freely on things that they enjoy, so I thought I'd make an episode of the show just detailing some stuff that might be underlooked, especially in mainstream media. So the first film I'll talk about is Alice by Jan Svankmajer. It's a Polish language film from 1988 starring Krystyna Kuchotowa, and I've definitely butchered that, based on the popular Lewis Carroll story Alice in Wonderland. Now the story is obviously one we've heard countless times, obviously popularised by the 1951 Disney film of the same name. The film differs in its artistic direction, as well as the tone that it pushes onto the viewer. The film is really dark and foreboding, never letting you get away from the dread that Alice is experiencing when faced with Jan Svankmajer's nightmarish version of Wonderland. The puppets used are dark and unnerving, often using uncanny behaviour that seems entirely alien to us. And going back to the art direction, I believe it's some of the most original work put to film. The film has a very distinct and original look that lends to its dark tone. I mean, just look at these images. These are plucked straight from the film, and they all look entirely unique, making this film an entirely fascinating experience. I mean, if you want to watch this or any of the other following films that I'm going to talk about, by the way, I'll link some ways to watch them legally in the description. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Takashi Miike's The Happiness of the Katakuris. Many will know Miike for his more widely known works such as Ichi the Killer or his 1999 horror masterpiece Audition. However, out of all of his works, I believe that Katakuris remains one of his most interesting films to date. It's a Japanese language horror musical, and yeah, you heard that right, it's a Japanese horror musical set in the Japanese countryside based around a family who run a B&B. The family finds themselves cursed with the fact that everyone who stays with them winds up dead the next morning. Now what follows is a cascade of songs, murders, suspense and comedy that will leave you sat in your seat wondering what the hell was put in your tea. It's ridiculous. Honestly, the best way I can describe it to anyone is a Japanese horror version of The Sound of Music, and even that is doing it a discredit. It also has a very strange and wonderful animated sequence mixed in with live action footage. It's one to track down and watch with a group of friends. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Now the final film I want to talk about is Irma Vep, a French language film directed by Olivier Assayas and starring veteran Hong Kong actress Maggie Cheung. The film is a fairly simple premise in that it's about the production of a film. Now the story follows a film director who attempts to remake the serial-silent classic Les Vampires. What unfolds is a tale of drama, love and everything in between. It's a film that truly shows you the drama of film production, but whilst also poking fun at certain aspects of it. The performance of Maggie Cheung is phenomenal, which really lends to the believability of the whole thing. The film also serves as a love letter to French cinema, making several references to French cinema icons like François Truffaut and Catherine Deneuve, which again I'm sure I've butchered completely. It places the thoughts and feelings surrounding French cinema during the mid-90s and illuminates the thought process of those who create such works. I mean, I've saw it very recently and it's become one of my favourite films of all time. I love it when that happens, when I find out about a film and I watch it and it has such an effect on me that it becomes one of my favourites, which is sort of the whole point of this video, really, to illuminate certain films so that maybe other people can find them and then they can enjoy them as much as I have. So anyway, thanks for listening to my incoherent ramblings. I hope that anyone who's watched it can take anything away from this video and enjoy the films like I have. And anyone who has anything to add upon the films that I've touched upon, or want to suggest some of the films they love, feel free to do so in the comments because I'll read them all and I love reading about people's opinions on films. I promise I'll be back again this year. I want to make more videos where I just talk about the things that I like, because they're the ones that I enjoy the most. I just like to talk and sort of indulge in the things that mean a lot to me. So anyway, thank you for listening guys, and I'll be back again soon.